At over 60, Robert struggled to stand up from a chair without using his hands. He walked 30 minutes every day, every single day, and it was not helping. 10 weeks later, he was hiking with his grandkids and getting up off the floor to play with them. What changed was not how much he moved, it was what he did. Just 3 exercises, 15 minutes, 3 times a week, and here is what nobody told him for decades. If walking is your only exercise after 60, you are leaving 3 critical gaps in your body completely unprotected. I am Dr. Mark, and with over 25 years of experience in physical therapy, I have seen thousands of people just like Robert. Today, I am going to show you exactly what those 3 gaps are and how to fix them starting today. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes, because by the end, you will have a complete do-it-today plan. No gym, no equipment, no guesswork. And if you are over 60 or love someone who is, stay until the final exercise. That one alone could be the difference between living independently at 80 or not. Before we go any further, go down to the comments and write your age and where you are watching from. I want to see who is here and who is ready to take this seriously. Walking is good. Keep doing it. But here's the part no one explains clearly. Walking does not stop muscle loss. After 60, your body loses muscle at a rate of 3 to 8% every decade. That loss is not just about strength, it is about control. It is about your ability to stand up, stabilize, and catch yourself when something goes wrong. Walking slows that decline a little, but it does not reverse it. Walking also does not train your balance. You are moving in a straight line, on flat ground, at a steady pace. There is no real challenge, no instability, no demand on your system to correct itself. But real life is not like that. And most important, walking does not train your reaction. When you trip, when your foot lands wrong, when your body shifts unexpectedly, you have less than a second to respond. That response is not built by walking. It is built by specific, targeted movement. So here is the reality. You are not falling when you are walking in a straight line. You fall when you lose your base, when your foot misses, when your body cannot react fast enough to save you. That is the gap, and that is exactly what we are going to fix next. The third movement is heel raises, and this is your ankle strength, your first line of defense when you almost fall. Most people over 60 completely overlook this area. They think about walking, maybe their knees or hips, but when you actually lose balance, the first joint that reacts is your ankle. Not your hips, not your hands, your ankle. Research shows that ankle response happens in fractions of a second when you trip, and if that system is weak, there is no recovery. Let us test it right now. Stand behind a chair and place your fingertips lightly on the back, not gripping, just enough for balance. Slowly rise up onto your toes and pay attention to what you feel. Are you steady or shaky? Do your ankles wobble? Or do you rush through it because you cannot control it? That tells you exactly where you are. Now here is how to do it correctly. Stand with your feet about hip width apart, chest up, body tall. Slowly lift your heels off the ground, taking about 2 seconds to rise. Hold at the top for 1 second, then lower down slowly for about 3 seconds. That lowering phase is where the real strength is built, because this is where your muscles learn to control your body against gravity, which is exactly what happens when you stumble. Most people get this wrong by moving too fast, gripping the chair too hard, or bending their knees, which takes the work away from the ankles. The biggest mistake is dropping down quickly. If you are not controlling the descent, you are not building the strength that prevents falls. You should feel a clear contraction in your calves. If you do not, slow down and reduce how much you rely on the chair. This is about control, not speed. Start with 10 repetitions for 2 sets in the first couple of weeks, then progress to 12 repetitions for 3 sets. Once you feel stronger, move to single leg heel raises, where one foot is slightly lifted and the other does all the work. At first, it will feel challenging, and that is exactly the point. Do this 3 times per week. It takes less than 5 minutes, but it directly trains the system your body relies on to catch itself when you lose balance. And this is where it shows up in real life. When you step off a curb and your foot lands slightly wrong, your ankle corrects you before you even realize it. When you walk on uneven ground or wet surfaces, your body adjusts instantly instead of collapsing. When you start to lose balance, this is what gives you that split second to recover instead of falling. That is the difference between staying on your feet and hitting the ground. And if you were able to complete this exercise with control, go down to the comments and type the number 3. The second movement is standing march with arm swing, and this is where your balance becomes real. Not the kind you think you have when you walk in a straight line, but the kind you actually need when your body is forced to stabilize under pressure. Every time you walk, there is a moment where only one foot is on the ground. That is called single leg support. And if you cannot control your body in that moment, you are unstable with every step you take. You just do not notice it until something goes wrong. This movement trains that exact system. Your balance, your coordination, and your ability to stay in control when your weight shifts. Stand tall with your feet hip-width apart. Now slowly lift one knee up to about hip height or as high as you can comfortably go. At the same time, swing the opposite arm forward, just like you would naturally when walking. Hold that position briefly, then lower back down with control and switch sides. Do not rush this. The goal is not speed. The goal is control. You should feel your standing leg working to keep you stable. Your core should be engaged to keep your body upright, and your arms should move naturally, not stiff or forced. This is where most people struggle. They lean backward when they lift the knee. They rush the movement to avoid losing balance, or they swing their arms without coordination. All of that removes the benefit. Stay tall, move slow, own each position. Start with 20 to 30 seconds, alternating legs at a controlled pace. Rest, then repeat for a total of 3 rounds. As you improve, slow it down even more. Hold each lift for 1 to 2 seconds. You can also reduce how much you rely on support or move away from holding onto anything at all. And here's the key point. If you are shaking here, if you feel unstable, that is not just happening in this exercise. That is happening every time you walk, every time you turn, every time you shift your weight in real life. You just have not been forced to notice it. This is where you fix it. Because in real life, when you step on uneven ground, when you turn quickly, or when someone bumps into you, your body has to stabilize instantly on one leg. If it cannot do that, you lose control. This movement trains your nervous system to respond correctly in those moments. It teaches your body how to stay upright when everything shifts. So take this seriously. And if you were able to hold your balance with control, go down to the comments and type the number 2. The final movement is sit to stand, also called the chair squat, and this is the one that determines whether you stay independent or not. This is not just an exercise. This is a real-life movement you perform every single day, and your ability to do it without assistance is directly tied to your quality of life. Every time you get up from a chair, a bed, or a car, your legs are responsible for lifting your entire body weight. If that strength is not there, you compensate with your hands, your back, or momentum. And that is where the decline begins. Sit at the edge of a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Keep your chest up and your back straight. Lean slightly forward from your hips, then press through your feet and stand up in a controlled motion. Do not use your hands if you can avoid it. Then slowly sit back down, controlling the descent all the way. That lowering phase matters just as much as standing up. It builds the strength you need to control your body, not just move it. Most people get this wrong by collapsing into the chair, using momentum, or pushing off with their hands. If you need to use your hands, that is not failure, that is feedback. It is a clear sign your leg strength is not where it needs to be. Start with 5 controlled repetitions. Focus on quality, not speed. Rest, then repeat for 2 to 3 sets. As you improve, increase to 8, then 10 repetitions. You can also slow down the movement, especially on the way down, to build more control. Eventually, aim to perform this without using your hands at all. And here's where this shows up in real life. Getting up from a chair without thinking, standing up from the toilet without grabbing support, getting out of a car smoothly, even getting up off the floor if you have to. These are the moments that define independence. If you struggle here, that is your warning sign. This is not something to ignore. Because the moment you cannot stand up on your own, everything changes. So take this seriously. And if you were able to stand up and sit down with control, without using your hands, go down to the comments and type the number 1. Before we move on, you need to hear this. If any of these sound familiar, you should not wait. If you need to use your hands to stand up from a chair, that is not just habit, that is lost strength. Your legs are no longer doing their job. If you feel unsteady when you turn or change direction, even slightly, that is not normal aging. That is your balance system breaking down. If your legs feel heavy or weak by the end of the day, that is not just fatigue, that is endurance and muscle capacity dropping below what your daily life demands. These are early warning signs, and most people ignore them until something bigger happens. A fall, an injury, a sudden loss of independence. By the time that happens, recovery is harder, slower, and sometimes incomplete. So do not wait for that moment. If you recognize even one of these signs, your body is already telling you something is off, and the sooner you respond, the easier it is to fix. Now, here is how you put all of this together in a way that actually works. You do not need a complicated schedule. You do not need to do this every single day. In fact, your body responds better when you give it time to recover and adapt. That is where the progress actually happens. All you need is 3 sessions per week. That is it. 3 days. Each session takes less than 10 to 15 minutes. You start with the sit to stand for 5 slow, controlled repetitions. Then move to the standing march with arm swing for 30 seconds. Then finish with heel raises for 10 controlled repetitions. That is 1 round. Rest briefly, then repeat if you still have control and energy. This works because it is simple and repeatable. You are not overwhelming your body. You are sending a clear, consistent signal. And that signal is what tells your muscles to rebuild instead of continuing to decline. Consistency matters more than intensity here. Doing this 3 times a week, every week, is far more powerful than doing a lot for a few days and then stopping. Now, here is the part that matters most. I want you to commit to this for the next 7 days. Just 7 days. No skipping, no excuses. At the end of those 7 days, test yourself. Stand up from a chair and notice how it feels. Does it feel easier, smoother, more controlled? Pay attention to your walking. Do you feel more stable? When you turn or change direction, do you still feel unsteady, or are you more in control? Most people are surprised by how quickly things start to change. Because the body is not broken. It has just been undertrained in the areas that matter most. You are not trying to become an athlete. You are rebuilding the strength that allows you to stand, walk, and move without depending on anyone else. And it starts with showing up 3 times this week. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go down to the comments and write, "I'm in for 7 days," along with your age and where you are watching from. When you put it in writing, you are far more likely to follow through. You will start to see other people doing the same thing, people your age taking action and rebuilding their strength. You are not doing this alone. And today is the day you start. So let's lock this in clearly. Keep walking. It is still good for your heart, your circulation, your mind, but now you understand the truth. Walking alone is not enough. You need 3 things that walking does not give you: strength to stand up, balance to stay stable, and the ability to react when something goes wrong. And that is exactly what these 3 movements do. Sit to stand builds the strength that keeps you independent. Standing march with arm swing trains your balance in a real, functional way. Heel raises strengthen the system that catches you when you almost fall. 3 exercises, 3 times per week, about 15 minutes. That is all it takes to start changing how your body responds. And understand this, the difference is not in knowing this, the difference is in whether you actually do it. So before you close this video, do one thing. Stand up and complete 1 set of each exercise. Right now. Do not wait. Do not overthink it. Just start. If this gave you clarity, hit like and subscribe, because I break down what actually works for your body as you age, without the confusion and without the noise. And share this with one person over 60 in your life, a friend, a parent, someone you care about, because one fall can take everything away in a moment. But the right action, taken today, can prevent that.